what is going on the YouTube? This is Robert, and today I'm bringing you to the full drop list, all fun and games as per norm, for this week, which is going to be week 17 of the full winter season. Now for this week we have the winter tees. I was about to say summer tees, no, they're the winter tees this week. The highlight is obviously going to be the box logo tee with the camo logo, which I'm kind of not a massive fan of, but you know, just because it reminds me of Poochie. I think a couple of the colourways look perfectly fine, but as an overall, it's not my favourite in terms of what they could have done with it. But anyway, that's just my view and my take. Other than that, we have quite a number of Camacho pieces, which is quite an old going like release with Supreme is the way to put it. I mean, I wouldn't even call it plush, I'd just say toy that they released a long time ago is worth a fair chunk. And they're really cool. So yeah, we're getting a number of them this week, which is cool, and we're also getting a number of other lookbook quote pieces. And yeah, without further ado, let's just jump straight into this and take a look at it all, because yeah, there's nothing really else that we can do, so let's go. Okay, so let's just jump straight into this week, get straight into things, talk about things, maybe briefly because we already kind of went over some, but yeah, let's just go through them in the end. So obviously we've got the box logo tee, which is going to be the number one piece for obvious reasons. Colorways are basically the exact same in the end, they are, but yeah, I mean, it's very hit and miss. You know that it'll be the type of thing where I'll be like, I don't need it, and then I'll be like SpongeBob all of a sudden, and he'll just be like that, I need it, like screaming for it. But no, I don't think I'll be like that, unless I really do change my mind. I don't know. But yeah, it's the most hyped piece for this week. Following very close to that, with its likes to dislikes just being, I think, like one actual vote off. If this had 110 dislikes instead of 112, it'd probably be first, which is going to be the Technics SL1200 MK7 turntable. Try and say that 3 times faster. Personally, I think the retail's not too bad. I'm pretty sure they're like £900 to £1,100 anyway, so it's not like it's the worst price in the world. Maybe I might be off with that, but yeah, I mean, it's still £1,300. But yeah, I mean, for those who are actually doing this for a living, you know, it's probably a cool, like, unique thing to have. Whether or not you're actually going to use it or not as part of a set is another thing, but yeah. Moving on from that, we have 2 of the tees for this week, being the New York City tee, the one that I liked with the classic logo on the front and the back for both Supreme in both cases. And yeah, very simple, very easy in the end, because of how basic it is, but also how simplistic they've gone with it. You know, the large spell out with the smaller below, so the Supreme grabs your eye. It's up on the list because of that, but a close second is going to be the Camacho tee, which actually has more likes. It's just the fact that it has more dislikes at the same time, which, yeah, I feel like at least a couple of the colorways will end up selling out in most probably the top 2. Obviously the top's going to sell out, but yeah, in these 2 most definitely, I personally would feel that at least several of the colorways should go, just because they are decent tees. Like, they're genuinely decent ones, you know. The Camacho isn't too big, it's not too small, it's got Supreme flown under it, and obviously it's iconic. So yeah, coming after that we have the reflective Balaclava. I don't really know why. Balaclavas are so hit and miss when it comes to Supreme. If any of these sell out, I would be actually surprised. If they were going to, I would say it would have to be from like black or grey. You've got the chance of the purple or red, but I'd most probably just say it'd be the black or the grey colourway that should sell out if one does. Moving on from that, a piece that should definitely be above that is going to be the Cauchan sweater that is going to be dropping. Palace had a piece similar, Supreme had a piece similar last year. The Camacho Cauchan, I think, in this natural colourway, this like cream tone, is perfect. It's £450. I think this is fine. I just don't like the outline to it being this grey in the black colourway. I don't think it emphasises that well upon it. It really doesn't stand out as much as the black on the natural with the blue. I just think this is just great. And if it's like the last one that Supreme released, which was very limited and then ended up shooting into the heavens, I feel like it could be the same situation where you'll look at it and you'll be like, oh, it's in stock, and then you'll refresh, you'll be like, oh, it isn't. And then next thing you see people with these ludicrous ask prices just out there, and they're just, yeah, making it rocket. You can always tell from in-store as well how much stock something has. Like, if people have gone in and they're like, oh, I was top 10, I couldn't even get this size or whatever, you know that something's limited at that point, which then you should be like, oh, that's not a good sign. So yeah, on the same lines of the Camacho, we have, you know, the full set going along. We have the pin next for £7. For those who collect pins, obviously it's a cool one to get. I wish that it was the blue colourway, I'm not gonna lie, over the green. Maybe more Christmassy with it being green, but we have the Camacho ornament, which isn't meant to look like this. Obviously that's a mock-up. I've seen more so things of it being a bauble, obviously, but £60. I mean, the last ornament type Christmas piece I was going to get from Supreme was obviously the light that shone, and I didn't get it in the end. I was like, I mean, an earring, terrible decision. I should have just got it because it's cool and it's useful, and you will at least use it for like a month-ish every year. So yeah, it's just my problem. Moving on from there, we have the Banate, a bit more on the unique side for the font, I'll be honest. Quite cool because of that, because it's flat, but it's almost giving you a three-dimensional look because of the colours chosen and the angles included. And yeah, I think it's quite cool because of that, but obviously it's not as high up on the list, but I still think at least a colourway, if not some sizes, should go from some of the colourways, if not several of them. So yeah, we then have the Muta? I'm butchering it. Zip Up hoodie coming up next. I'm not really a massive Zip Up fan, but I do like the graphic in the end because it's obviously Kejiro? I'm butchering that as well. Muta, who was a wrestler, if you couldn't tell by the imagery included. So this is basically paying homage to him. So yeah, it might be because of the fact that I'm pretty sure when we first looked at this from the lookbook, that he retired earlier on in this year, so maybe that's why, which is still cool, you know, something cool to have. I'm not a massive fan of it being on a zip-up hoodie, I'm not gonna lie. It would have been better on like a sweater, but that's just me. Next up, we've got the payment tee. It's not my favourite out of all of them, but it's still something, you know, that stands out in the end. Instead of just having the basic image, you've at least got Supreme over the top. We've then got a Vans collab this week, which is going to include these leopard old schools. Navy colourway maybe, I don't know. I'm not really a fan of leopard prints nowadays. Like, there are levels to them and I'm sort of past the level. We have the yin yang tee. You can tell what it says, so we can move on to the Muta tee or Muta tee as well, which I think does a better job than the zip up, just personal opinion. With the Camacho meshback 5 panel, I think this is cool, I really do. Different colourways just make it stand out a bit more. Personally, I'd probably say the brown and the natural are probably the best for me personally, but that's just my take. We then have the chenille beanie, black and the blue tone, but multi-colorways have been more sought after for some reason nowadays, so yeah, it's just one of those things. We then have the Neil Blender cheetah skateboard. It's cool and simple. So yeah, we have the hooded warm-up pullover. I like the black and the blue or like navy colorway. I'm not really a fan of the brown colorway. Yeah, I just think this stands out a bit more and I just like it more overall. We then have the half cab for the other side of the Vans collaboration, exact same thing. Yeah, no, it's just not for me. We have the micro quilted camp cap next, which I'd just say the green is my favourite. The Gore-Tex 700 fill down clip Parker, I'm just not a fan of the clips, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not. For last piece for the week, we have the Polotex Small Box 6 panel. Probably the black or the cream colourway. The olive's nice, but those are my like two preferred colours. So yeah, that is going to cover the drop list for this week. As per norm, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below of what you're going to be going for, what you like, what you dislike. I know that an amount of people will be going for things from the tees, obviously, but I'm interested to see those who are looking out for the Cowchan sweater, and obviously what colourway you're interested in the box logo tee. So yeah, that is going to cover it from me anyway, so I do hope that you have a good rest of your day. My voice is going up and down, but regardless, I will see you all next time. Peace.